Hello everybody, it's Ginger, and I'm going to start this video by saying I'm so sorry I had to speed this up. And do you know why? It's because I am on a server. Wow! So this is the server that I work on for my ships, which very exciting, very fun, very mindful, very demure. So today I'm working on a custom in a scale I generally don't build in, which is 1.8 to 1. So what that means is, I think I've tried to explain it in the Shiganshina video, but it's 1.8 meters. No, wait. For every 1.8 blocks, there is 1 meter. So I did all the scaling, thank God, but you can see me redoing the decking, the deck layout here. I did end up going down to G deck, I believe, with 3 cargo decks for crew. And then you can see me going back and forth between the Lady Grey, which I did 3 to 5 years ago. And this is her sister ship. I'm calling her the SS Lady Anne. So Lady Grey is named after Queen Jane Grey, who reigned for 9 days. This one is going to be after Anne Boleyn, who did reign for quite a bit, I think a few years, but she ended up getting beheaded. And there's only like one painting of her left. So I kind of wanted this ship to be kind of like a little commemoration to her. Obviously, it's not going to be like 1500s themed. It's mostly just the name. But this is a 1920s ship, which I also don't typically build in. So I was trying my best here. You can see me pausing from time to time, like right now, and looking back on certain things or changing my music or something. I'm just probably doing something stupid over there. But this video is mostly, at least this first part, I already have a second part recorded, but at least this first part is mostly exterior. So I am figuring out how to do the bridge. I did a little bit of the hull because I wanted a covered well deck. So if you don't know, a well deck is basically, if you think of Titanic, it's like this little dip between the actual topmost deck of the bow and which is typically B deck, I believe, down to C deck. So, and then back up again, usually. So my covered well deck just basically means that there is a dip, but it's just covered. So it's basically just B deck, and it's a little cutout from C deck in the side of the ship. So that's very, very fun, very exciting. And you can see me again pausing occasionally, probably to look at something, Google something, because this is 1920s, like I said, and I'm not very familiar with the 20s. I have built one ship in the 20s, and that was with a lot of help. So I will regularly be going back and forth between that ship, which is the SS Dauphine, and the Lady Grey. And this is the most exciting part of the build. I'm building the bridge. How exciting! And you can see me realize, oh hey, not right here, but oh hey, I did the decks wrong. I think you see it right about here. I'm like, what? Because I just didn't add a deck, I believe. Or it was boat deck. I don't really remember which one, but I fixed it now, which is good. My arm on my chair just came loose, which was really bizarre. That's okay, it's just loose. She's still on there. Okay. Well, anyways, you can see me redoing the decking here. I royally messed it up. I'm gonna be so for real. I confuse myself typically when I start doing decking before anything else. But I was just missing a deck, so I went from B deck, and then I did A deck, and I was missing boat deck, I believe. No, I was missing A deck. Yes, I remember putting in A deck. Okay, I was missing A deck, because I already put in boat deck. So here I am adding a deck. And a deck is also just 4 blocks tall, not including the ceiling, so it's technically 5 if you include the ceiling, but while the typical deck is 4. So yeah, you can see me hating the bridge right now. I think I literally said, quote, "I hate that" in this. But I still ended up copy pasting it to the other side because I was like, okay, how do the wings look? Gotta know. And then I said, this bridge is too small. I'm redoing it. So here I am just adding extra windows. Yep, here we go. This is the part where I said, I hate that. This looks terrible. And I recenter everything. So, how is y'all's days going? I actually got out of therapy like 2 hours ago. It's really nice. I very much recommend therapy for anyone. Not even if you don't have mental health issues, if you have like anger issues or stress issues, like girl, therapy. Not everyone is a talker though. I'm a yapper, as you can tell. But then I'm like, okay, you know, it's nice to talk to someone who's like not stigmatizing you, I guess, is what I'd say. So here I am doing the promenade for a deck. That's super exciting. Most of this video is going to be really boring. I'm going to be so for real. And I'm so lazy because I don't trust myself to count. Because I regularly like mess up everything. So I literally use World Edit to count. And I'm really on that symmetry grind. I need symmetry in most places, but you'll see in the next video that for crew, I did not do symmetry on that top deck. On boat deck, it was terrible. But here I am doing the hull. This is the most boring part of the entire video, probably. There's not much to say. I do my hulls typically in blocks that have lines like gold, diamond, emerald even, but mostly gold is what I do because it enables me to see the actual block layout, I guess, if that makes sense. So if I were to look at the hull from the front, I'd be like, okay, I see this, like this part is a little too round, this part's a little too square. So that's how I fix it typically. And I just had a weird way of doing it this time around. I just kept going and I just kept making lines and I was raw dogging it. That's my word. I was raw dogging it. I really did not go in with a plan. I was not planning how I wanted to do the hull. Although it's pretty typical, it's pretty much the same every single time. But that's really it. This is so boring. But I feel like people need to see it because that's how some people learn. They say, oh, I want to learn how to build a ship in Minecraft specifically. Like, girl, me too. And some people learn best by watching, and some people learn best by experiencing. You can see that cut because this took me way too long, and I said, I hate this. So I'm adding the white section here, which typically is a gradual small to large to the full white section. As you can see, it keeps growing and it keeps shrinking depending on which way I go, obviously. But I did most of the hull. I hated it. This looked terrible. I kept adjusting it. But you know, here we are, doing our best. You can see how it looks smoother with the black concrete, but it's also, like I said, I build with the gold or the diamond or whatever to make sure that I can see the issues before I fix it. So even if I have to do this shit by hand, which I believe I used to, at least when I built my first ship, I was doing a lot of it by hand. Because I don't think we had World Edit way back when. It was 10 years ago now, Jesus. So you can just see this. I'm re-putting down the decks just on the other side so I can see them better and it doesn't interfere with the hull. I still can't count. You can see me just messing up all my counting. I also switched my colors, which is great. But it doesn't matter because I know what they mean. And I just did a little bit of adjusting here. Okay, well, I actually don't know what I'm doing at this current moment, but I did something, and I'm just waiting for the well deck to come because I know that I cut out the well deck in this part. Oh, here we go. Finally. This is me starting to create the well deck. I can't, you know what? I just voice over these videos. I'm not even paid. I don't pay myself. Why would I do that? I have my own money. So I'm just trying my best here. But you can see just trying to keep that consistent, like, straight line of everything. And also I changed everything to smooth quartz because apparently I did that. Also, it's nicer. It just looks nicer than the white concrete, in my opinion. Because if you use it for, like, if you're using smooth quartz for the bow or the white section, you're gonna have to use it for the superstructure because you want it to be a consistent flow of color. It has to look right. And if you didn't do that, it wouldn't look great. Right. I didn't say great. I said right. Either way, it would look great. But when do I cut out the whale deck? Oh, I think here it is. Am I cutting out the whale deck? Please, please just cut out the whale deck, Hannah. Oh god. Okay, there we go. And then you can see me just adjusting from here. I do tend to fill in all of the deck pretty early on because, at least for the upper decks, because I'm like, okay, I don't know what I have to work with. For the bow, yeah, I would totally fill in the upper deck right away because then I don't have to worry about it. I can cut out my cargo hatches, I can do whatever. So yeah, that's really the video. Oh, that's hideous. Oh, so glad I changed that. Good lord. I remember even editing that in my last video. In my next video? In my next video. That I haven't even edited yet. See? See? Here we are. Now, I don't typically recommend putting in any sort of decking before, like, at least below the bow, or like the first deck of the bow, unless you're doing like a well deck, obviously, like an open one. I typically wouldn't recommend that just because it's harder to lay out, but I did it for some reason. You know why? Because I don't know. It's just a well deck, so I guess I don't really care. Oh boy. I make myself giggle. Well, isn't that a good thing? Gotta make yourself laugh to make other people laugh, right? I actually don't know the answer to that. Please don't. Oh! That's what I mean. Oh, I dropped it. Doing a voiceover for all these things is so incredibly hard. Oh my god. Also, I'm so sorry for the grainy quality on this. It's like, I don't know why it's grainy. I really don't. Like, I can't even tell you. It's, you know what? I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna say, okay. And I'm just gonna move on. Like I'm like frickin' Sabrina Carpenter or something, okay? Okay, well, that's most of the video. Oh, I'm going back to Lady Grey to see how her superstructure is. Okay. Because, you know, the sister ship has to have some of the features. Oh. And then I get lost. I remember this. I remember getting lost. And I do slash back, and I'm back at Lady Grey. And I'm like, oh. Okay. Brain processing, brain loading. What do I do? Oh my god, I'm so stupid sometimes. Okay guys, well, that's basically the video. I don't think I did anything else. I'm so dumb in this video, specifically. But look how large she is compared to my freaking Lady Cyrene next to it. Oh my god, she's a beast. You'll see in my next video that I do end up laying out the entirety of boat deck. So I'm really excited to show that because I think I did a good job. And I laid out the stern, kind of. Okay, well, that's it. Enjoy the jazz. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.